Bonsoir, bonsoir tout le monde. I just want to log in a little bit early to, just show that I'm here and then get things set. Again, if you're just joining us, we had a live chat last night with a few folks, and I and others agreed that the residents of Harvey, the citizens, should have a meeting, even though Mayor Clark canceled our city council meeting tonight that should be taking place right now at City Hall. Was supposed to start at 7 p.m. He's canceled. This is the second meeting in November. So we've had no city council meetings in November. This is after he has shut down the city, declared that it's basically we're in a state of emergency. More than 40% of the staff has been laid off. So, yeah. So anyway, I wanted to give everybody a chance to come together, and then people can speak, ask some questions. Bonsoir, Idol Quebec. Hey, Bryant, Derek, Bryant. You should clear your computer cache and temp files before. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, maybe to help speed up the computer. That is a good idea. I'm also going to, let me try to pull up a quick. Another document here. I don't even know if I know how to clear my cache on my computer. That's a good point. Okay, and then I need to make sure I don't forget to mention anything. Let's see, we'll do. Okay, I just wanted to write up kind of a brief, very brief agenda. I know this was not planned super far in advance, so don't know. We may not get a huge crowd. We may. It doesn't matter. Either way, we're here. Those who are here. Hey, no apologies, but certainly if especially if you know anyone in Harvey, let them know that this is for you. This is for you, for us, for the community. This is our chance to get to. I'm going to share some of what I know as far as updates, but what's been going on with the city. If anyone else has updates, and we'll also have time for for people to share public comment, where I can call you onto the platform and then you can share your video and or just audio. People can also share comments in the chat, either on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're viewing. Brian says, interesting paint color. Oh, you like the hunter green? Yeah, I just I'm in one of the bedrooms here. Gaming with King J. Hello, gaming. Endoza. How do we sign the petition? Yes, so that is going to be on the agenda for sure. Hello, Rally. Hi, Beth. Bonsoir. Are you a lawyer? No, I'm not a lawyer. I am a realtor, but I'm not a lawyer. No apology says we'll be home in 10 minutes. Okay, no problem. 2 lives, evening mates. Bonsoir, Josh. Good evening. Yeah, so it's this newer thing that StreamYard is doing. I guess it's just so that you can choose depending on if you're on a computer or you're on a phone, landscape or profile. So feel free to join either one. I can see the chats in both. So actually, I might even be able to display the chats on the screen. Hold on one second. I think I can do that, right? Let me see. I'm pretty sure they had a way to do that. Okay, no. There's probably a way to do that, and I'm just forgetting. Maybe it's in the settings. Wait, hold on. General? No. Yeah, they definitely had a way to do that for a while. Okay. So I did prepare somewhat of an agenda just to give a loose idea of what we can do. Oh, my computer's telling me 4 inches of snow on Saturday. Okay. Why are you telling me that now? All right, so can everybody see? Oh, this was from a prior live. Look at this. That's a good reminder. I guess we can go over that. But anyway, just a basic agenda for tonight. And I'm trying to center this darn thing. Come on, go to the center. Okay. So yeah, it's 7:03, so we can start. It's November 24th, 2025. Again, if you're just joining us, I decided to hold a virtual town hall. It was actually all McHugh suggested it last night when I was doing a live, and I thought that was a great idea. I was going to use her Zoom, but just for ease of not having to get used to something new tonight, I'm just going to have people come forward, on this platform for comment. But the mayor has canceled tonight's city council meeting. There's been no reason given. I know Colby Chapman, my alderwoman for the 2nd Ward, she had shared that she did not hear anything from the city as far as why tonight's meeting was canceled or any updates on the current financial crisis or all the layoffs that have happened. Over 40% of city staff has been laid off. We're basically shut down. And the last that we heard from the mayor is he's just sort of like hoping for a state bailout. So it's almost like he's gone AWOL and just doesn't want to show up, hasn't had any meetings and is just waiting for the state to bail him out, which I don't think the state should because he's the one that got us into this mess, right? So cool kids. Hello. So yeah, we can start with some introductions, and I wanted to share a few recent FOIA requests that I got back. We'll go over the petition calling for Mayor Clark to resign and for a forensic audit to be done for city finances. We'll talk about maybe doing future meetings like this that are just citizen held, citizen led. We don't need to be relying on politicians. Sometimes politicians are great and sometimes they're not. But bottom line, the residents and the taxpayers of Harvey and those who care about Harvey, even if you don't live here, we're the ones that have to come together and make this city. We got to make a plan, and we got to get some things going in order to make the city better. So, and then we'll have public comment. So when it comes time to public comment, I'll also do, I'll add the link like to come up on stage too. So if someone wants to share, or people want to share later, I wanted to try to give priority for Harvey residents, but also if we have other people who are not Harvey residents that want to share as well, that's fine. Let's see. Ms. James Watson. Hello, hello. No, I decided not to do the Zoom tonight because it was just too complicated to have the two platforms. So I'm just going to use this for right now. But let me see here. So that's just a loose agenda, just to have some kind of structure. But the most important thing is I don't want to have any one person monopolizing, but I do want to give different people a chance to share and ask questions, because that's what we really need to do as a community, and that's what we're usually not able to do, and we're not able to share, and I think we don't get questions answered. So so yeah, this is just meant to be a place for dialogue. I'm Ryan. I do the Harvey Historical Society. I live here in Harvey, and you know, we have I've had family here for over 100 years in Harvey. There are a lot of people that love the city, but as you all know, it needs a lot of help. So we're technically shut down right now, and we're in a financial crisis. So chronomètre. Oh, you mean like a timer? Yeah. We can limit the comments, you know, to you know, maybe like 2 minutes a person or something, and then just, you know, as I forget what that system's called. I've done that in other meetings before, but you know, like make sure everybody gets a chance to speak at least once, and then once everyone's done, then we can always go back and give people a second turn or whatever. But that's a good idea too. Yeah, I can get a little timer. Okay, so welcome. Feel free to tell anybody else that you know that we're gonna meet in chats tonight. Oh, this was just this is a diagram that I'd use for another live, but I thought this might be a good helpful reminder. So some of the connections. Christopher Clark is the mayor of Harvey. We know his biggest donor is Chris Welch, who's Speaker of the House in Illinois. His law firm, the law firm that he's a member of, is called Ansel Glink. That is the main lawyer or the corporate counsel for the city of Harvey. Shanti Rains Welch, we found out, who's the Speaker of the House's wife. She is a judge for the Illinois Courts Commission, and that is the board that has the power to remove a judge. And then Jedediah Brown, the latest puppet associate enforcer for Clark. So these were just some people I think we were discussing that showing the different links. So it's never just about one person, right? When we're trying to make systemic change, but you know, you can see there's connections between these different people. To begin, I don't know, a few of you were able to join last night, but if you were not, I just wanted to share a few of the FOIA, the recent FOIA request answers that I got, because again, one of the things that we don't often get in our public meetings are any answers. So I'm going to pull up a little bit of that. But yeah, you're right. Hydro-Québec, I should probably clear my cache. Okay, here we go. Here. Hydro says you can talk about Jed. Come on. No, not right this second. I don't need to. Maybe he can come up later, but Bryant says, we actually need language for this bad attendance. Alderman Randall L. barely makes meetings at all, and nothing happens when he does. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't really know if there's anything in the law that would punish our politicians for canceling too many meetings or not showing up. That is a good question. If someone knows or they want to share or they've looked it up, that would be very helpful. Let me see here. Oh, Crook County. My Mr. Moderator is helping out, which is fantastic. Okay, let me remove that. And add. Okay, so you can see this was just from Facebook. So I had shared this. Like I said, if you know of anyone, even people, I'm sure there are probably people that are even at City Hall right now showing up and like, where's everybody? There's no meeting because, the city communicates so poorly. The petition we're going to talk about later. Okay, yeah. So this was the notice that Colby Chapman had shared from tonight's meeting. As you can see, here's the date, and it just says canceled. So there was no reason given, nothing. Colby did say in her post she gave some good advice for doing FOIA requests, which I think we should go over. But I just wanted to share something. So again, I'm on Facebook. This is the Harvey Historical Society page. So if you do want to check some information out about, this is one of the answers I got from the city. These are Talani Smith's receipts from when I FOIA'd some of her receipts from 2024. So you can see some of the things that she purchased with our tax money. Let's see. Here's the full agreement. It's almost $2.3 million for 5 years. For the not security cameras, for the surveillance cameras for the police, as well as the license plate readers. So it's a lot of money. And I don't remember that this contract was ever discussed 5 years ago, but we're still paying for it. It's at this point, it's about $500,000 per year. So if you want to take a look at that, I posted that as well. And here is just a small preview of that. Taxpayers, we're paying for 98 video surveillance cameras and 27 license plate readers. That's, again, about $500,000 per year for that. But we still have a lot of unsolved crimes. So my question was, well, what's going on with all the company's name is Flock? Where are all the cameras, right? Just so you can get a little bit of a closer look. Oops, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, yeah. Well, there you go. So you can see year 2, 3, 4, 5. The cost keeps going up, right? 425, 480, 535, 563. So the contract total is 2.26 or 2.27 million. That's a lot of money. So it's not that Harvey is not paying out money. That's why we really, really need that forensic audit. And then, as you can see here, it says Flock Safety LPR products. That's license plate reader. 27 of them. So where are they, and why aren't they being used to help stop and prevent crime? Then under video products, you see solar video camera, 27. Solar video camera PTZ, 71. So it's almost 100. And I looked up what that PTZ means, and it just said that was, I think that's one that they can move around remotely and they can zoom in everywhere. It has a lot of fancy views on it. So now what's really interesting, though, it says with the gunshot detection, there's only one listed. Because I thought that those, I've seen a few of those throughout the city, but I thought they were gunshot detectors. They're like on little black poles and they have small solar panels. But so now I don't know. But I don't know about you guys. I've only ever seen maybe 3 of those surveillance cameras with the flashing lights and stuff, set up at any one time in the city at the same time. So I don't know if there's almost 100 of them, like, where are they? Or was that money used for something else? I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Did we have any questions on that? Hey, Crook. Oh, Crook saying hello. Bonsoir. There's probably a paper on the door. Yeah, right. FOIA request. There's nobody to answer. Well, I did have some answers. That's why I wanted to share that. If you want to disappear, you're gonna have to ignore him. Yeah. Shot spotter. Yeah. So I don't know if ours is shot spotter, but because apparently this company Flock has. It looks like it's something similar, but I don't know. So that's definite proof, though, right? Of where. That's what we're not getting in our public meetings. That's some definite proof of our look. That shows where our money is being spent, at least from the contract. It's still not the bank statements and the actual receipts, because I do want to see those. But now I did ask about how much we pay for Chris Clark's security detail. I just threw out a month for the month of July, and the city said that they didn't have any information, and they gave this long excuse about, well, we searched and there's no position called security detail, mayor security detail security, but then they went on to cite all these other positions. And so I emailed them back and I just said, just send the data for when any police staff are assigned to Clark, So they're just avoiding answers again. This one was, I don't know if you guys remember, but we had asked about a few city events and said, why are you using tax dollars for them? This was a FOIA regarding the Harvey National Night Out in August, and the mayor assured us that he is not using public money for it, but that he's getting donations. So I said, okay, well, let's see them then. Let's see the proof. And the FOIA said no responsive records. The city did not create a list of what participants attended the event, nor recorded what their donations were or requested receipts of what they spent. So they were saying this, it says the city was fortunate enough. Let's see. Participants and donations were not monetary. Vendors and participants of the event donated by purchasing food, prizes, games, and attend the event and presented their donations at the time of the event. So in other words, just more BS of they're not telling us where the money's going. So that was really not helpful. I did request all the receipts and invoices for aldermanic expenses for Randall L. So if you're alderman, if you're in the 5th ward, that's your alderman for 2024. And the city said there were no records. So I guess, according to the city, he didn't spend anything. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did. It seems weird to me. If you want to glance, I posted Tyrone Rogers' aldermanic expenses, okay? Some of his receipts that he shared. Some of Colby's Chapman's receipts. I think these are Tracy Key's receipts. I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was about it. Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to go over some of that FOIA stuff. And then I wanted to go back up here and share, where's the thing that Colby shared? Okay, because she made a really good point about some things that we could do. This was her statement. The cancellation of our city council meeting without explanation signals a troubling disregard for process and public trust. It denies the council and the community an opportunity to address the very issues that residents are demanding clarity on: financial instability, city operations, and the well-being of the people who keep Harvey running. Since there is no transparency, no answers to public questions, and no city council meetings being held, I strongly urge our community to file FOIA requests. Below are basically some requests you can make. So she gives the link to the city's FOIA portal. And then just some awesome suggestions. So again, this is all on the Harvey Historical Society Facebook page, but it just says, you can FOIA asking about the current fiscal year budget, the budget versus actual expenditures, any cash balances, information about revenues received in the most recent quarter from taxes, fees, state grants, federal grants, and how those were allocated. Any documentation of how grants were used or how they were applied for, copies of invoices, a list of information about the layoffs, the furloughs. So there's a whole bunch of great examples of things you could FOIA there. Okay, and then now I'm going to share the petition. Where is that? Or did anybody have anything to add or any questions or anything about that before we move on? Crook said, "What's up, French? That YouTube dramatic page I looked at the other day, and it's the same as real estate assessment. But yeah, funny. It does sound like dude pushes some funny things about Illinois state assassin. The guy gray hair at the meeting, but the other guy we only see is face. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what that means. You guys have to clue me in. Hey, Ramona. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, did anybody have any questions or comments or anything you wanted to add about the FOIAs or any of that info? If not, don't worry, because like I said, we have time for public comment at the end. And while you guys are thinking, I will pull up the petition. All right, that's refreshing. Come on, come on, come on. All right, good. All right, so if you can see this, it said I shared this post, and this is just like a shorter version of the petition, and it just says, we're calling for Mayor Clark's resignation and for a full forensic audit. It gives the link. It's a Google form, so share this post to spread the word. And so if you click on the link, then you should get something that looks like. Oh, okay, Ramona says, I want to know if there's going to be an audit of any kind. I don't know of anything planned, but that is part of one of the demands in the petition is asking for a forensic audit. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, that's a really good point. Let's take that out and... Okay. Can you guys see that? Hopefully it's pretty clear. Oh my goodness. What are you guys talking about over there, Crook? He's definitely not pro-jet. Everything he seems to post about him is all the negatives about him, all the scams. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about who you guys are talking about. Okay, good. You can see good. Yeah, so let's so please feel free to sign if you would like. It just says you failed the city, it has Clark and pictures of fire, some broken abandoned buildings. Petition for the immediate resignation of Mayor Christopher J. Clark and a forensic audit of Harvey city finances. So we call on Mayor Clark to resign. To Mayor Clark, City Council of Harvey, residents of Harvey, from concerned citizens, the subject is demand for his resignation. We, the undersigned, write this petition to demand the immediate resignation of Mayor Christopher J. Clark. We believe that under his leadership, the city has suffered from a troubling lack of transparency, fiscal mismanagement, and abuses of power that undermine the trust and well-being of our community. Some of our concerns: financial mismanagement and audit delinquency. So Harvey is behind on state audits, okay, sparking a state crackdown. There are some links in there as well. So if you need to refresh yourself, or if you're sending this to someone who doesn't know much about what's been going on, there are some links there to some articles. Lack of financial transparency. So people are wondering where the taxpayer money is going. The treasurer has expressed concerns about not being given access to funds, to the books. So that's a problem. Opaque governance and abuse of power. Allegations of politically motivated arrests and harassment. Colby Chapman's arrest, my arrest, Glynis, Chappelle were both ticketed, for minor things, talking under their breath or something. It mentions that here as well, suppression of dissent during city council meetings. Also issues with the meeting minutes not even being accurate. Labor and contract issues. So problems, allegations of the Public Works Union, for instance. I know firefighters, obviously, none of the unions are happy with Mayor Clark right now because of all these layoffs, for sure. But even prior to that, there have been, allegations of not negotiating in good faith, and just union busting, that the mayor is trying to get rid of all the unions in the city, and workers feeling undervalued, and the mayor's not supporting our workers who actually get the work done in the city. Fiscal distress. So the mayor's pushed now to have us declared a financially distressed city, citing massive budget shortfalls, but still has not shown us the books. And that has led to furloughs, layoffs, cuts to services. And this austerity undermines quality of life and puts our workers at risk. There's a mention of leadership credibility and accountability. For instance, the internal affairs officer in the police department who resigned a few years ago because she was alleging that misconduct and corruption were being blocked from investigation. And then concerns about accountability and whether the mayor's basically, abusing his power instead of trying to improve the city. And the call for a forensic audit is because we just have not seen any verified information about what the finances of the city look like. So a forensic audit is more thorough and is typically requested when there is suspicion of something that is wrong or potentially illegal, irregular transactions, financial mismanagement. So So the demands on this petition are, number one, Mayor Clark should resign immediately. Number two, the city council should support a transition plan for interim leadership that centers on transparency, accountability, and fiscal responsibility. I did look up in the city code. I didn't see anything that specified what would happen if a mayor were to resign or die in office or be removed, or, for whatever reason, or even for what would be done with the alderman. But as far as I know, with state law, it says that someone on the council would vote for one of their members amongst themselves to be interim mayor until the next election could be held. So that just kind of gives us an idea of what we would probably be in, what would happen. And then we want that full independent forensic audit. So all the finances, everything. We want a certified outside forensic auditing firm with no prior connections to the city, not that same Kasparek and Calumet City that does all these local boards audits. No, it's got to be independent, and all the results need to be publicly released. It should cover all the finances for the past 6 years at the least. We also want increased public oversight, more open meetings, better access to financial documents, community input, and we want protections for people who speak out. You shouldn't be harassed if you don't agree, right? Why does this matter? Well, Harvey residents deserve a government that's accountable, transparent, and responsible with their tax dollars. Without meaningful change, the city risks deeper financial distress, loss of public trust, and further damage to its institutions. And leadership matters. The mayor must lead with integrity, openness, and a real commitment to serving every resident. By signing this petition, we stand together to call for a new chapter in Harvey's governance, one characterized by honesty, accountability, and genuine service to the people. We ask Mayor Clark to step down so that Harvey can begin the work of healing, rebuilding, and restoring trust. Yay! Now, he's not going to go easily, but that's why, please, if you can share share this, and we want as many people to sign as possible. Now, what are we going to do with it? Well, all verified signatures will be presented to the city council, the state's attorney, any appropriate oversight bodies as part of an official request for new leadership and compliance with the law. If you want your name to be confidential, please indicate that below. Results will be reported in general. We'll say this number of Harvey residents support his resignation and are calling for this audit. 58 Harvey business owners, 32 Harvey city employees, etc. So that's the first question is, do you support this petition, this call? This, I think, is the reason why I chose to do the Google Forms, because I wanted to I know a lot of people are scared of retaliation, retribution, okay? So you can choose, hey, I'm proudly calling for change, share my name publicly, or no, I'm afraid of retribution, losing my job, harassment by Harvey police, etc. Please keep my name private, okay? So we still would like your name, but you have the choice as far as you can say if you do not want your name shared publicly, that's fine. And then you just tell us who you are. You are a Harvey resident, employee, business owner, city contractor, an out-of-town supporter, or however else you're connected to Harvey. Oops. Sorry, I don't want to take the survey right now. Your street address. Now, no matter whether you marked confidential or not, we're not sharing anybody's addresses. That's just used for verification. If we need it, that would not be shared publicly at any time. Just to make sure that we actually have real people and real, if someone says they're a resident, we want to make sure that they actually live in Harvey. It's not just some random person signing. Zip code may be shared publicly. Email address, again, we would only use that for communication with you or for verification. That would not be shared publicly. It's optional. Phone number is optional. We could use it for verification or communication, but that would not be shared publicly. You would certify, hey, under penalty of perjury, I'm telling the truth. If you want to leave an optional public comment, you can. You don't have to. But if you want to remain confidential, don't put information that would identify yourself. And then at the very end, it just says note to signer, your name, city, your zip code, connection to Harvey, and public comment may be shared publicly. Your name, however, will not be shared publicly if you marked private above. Addresses, emails, and phone numbers will not be public and will only be used to verify identity before signatures are submitted to the Harvey City Council and other relevant authorities. And then it gives a link to the Facebook page if you want to stay updated. Oh, I forgot to click on that. And and then so you just fill it out and you hit submit. But I wanted to show you guys. I'll briefly pull that up as well, and then I'll get to questions. I'm sure you have questions. I didn't forget your questions. Oh. This content is not available right now. It should be. Oh man. Well, good thing I'm checking the link because maybe it's a bad link. Good thing I'm checking it. Oops. Okay, I'll have to update that. All right, never mind. Let me go to. I'll go back to this other tab. Hold on, let me pull it up. And there's I wanted to make a Facebook group just for this. It's not every day you call for your mayor to resign, right? So the link to the petition's there. Okay, so yeah, so the link at the end of the petition, which I will fix, goes to this page right here. It says, "Resign now, Mayor Clark. You have failed the city, and Mayor Clark must resign now." So it's a Facebook group just for that, just for people that are calling for Clark to resign. And you can see there's already some good comments. He promised he was going to be the change in Harvey. We thought for better. Nothing better, now it's worse. Show us where the money's going. Okay, so we had someone else, Carlita, shared, "Still building a better Harvey." I love that. It shows 2009. Look, there was a little hot dog stand. 2009. It was closed, I think, but it still looked decent. And look, 2023, closed, and the building looks horrible and abandoned. So, yeah, the worst thing that ever happened to Harvey. So we already have some good comments and feedback on there. All right, now I'll take questions. All right, let's go back. Okay, Ramona says, we need to know how much debt Harvey's really in. Exactly. That's why the demand is in there for the forensic audit, right? You need Harvey people to sign, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, well, Ramona, she's a Harvey resident. The only audit Harvey's ever going to see is a federal investigation audit. Well, I mean, hey, whoever, it's the state or the feds or whoever's going to do the forensic audit, we just want it done. The fact that Mayor Clark has continued to blame the past administration is a concern for me. Yes, yeah, I agree. I love it. How are we going to get this petition out? So that's a great question. Great segue, because we need everybody to share this as much as possible. I know Amir was talking about maybe doing one on change.org as well, but please, please, please sign and share this link so that anybody and everybody can sign this. Again, it has protections for your anonymity. If you do not want your name shared, that's fine. Just indicate that in the petition, because that's one thing I didn't like about just doing one on change.org, because change.org doesn't really let you, protect your name like that. And yeah, so just share it with anybody and everybody, especially Harvey residents, and that will help build momentum. I don't think that alone is going to force Clark out, but that's okay. We're going to keep the pressure on because, again, this city belongs to us, right? The residents, the people that live here. We pay taxes here. We care. And what was this message? Oh, okay. I see. Okay, cool. Just making sure it wasn't about this. Door to door. Yep. A little moving gathering. Right. Exactly. Anywhere. The alderman with top seniority becomes mayor. Not necessarily. Not according to state law that I was able to find. Mr. Bryant. According to state law, the city council votes. And so that would be another issue, because remember when we discussed this on a prior live, some of the people said, hey, you should add that in there, who you want to be mayor. But we didn't want it to be, I didn't want to get into that whole political argument, right? I just wanted to be focused on however you feel about any replacement. I think most people can agree that Clark has done a horrible job for the past 6 years and he needs to go. So I think just getting that, and then obviously we need the forensic audit. I think most people can agree on that. So please share and sign. In Illinois, a mayor cannot keep canceling city council meetings without consequence. State law requires the council to meet at least once every month. And the mayor does not have the power to shut government business. If meetings are canceled repeatedly, especially if it blocks votes, audits, budgets, or oversight, it can be considered official misconduct. As residents, we are not powerless. We can attend meetings, file complaints with the Illinois Attorney General, contact the Cook County State's Attorney, submit FOIA requests for canceled meetings, organize petitions, and push the city council to call special meetings without the mayor. When residents show up, ask questions, and document what's happening, it becomes harder for officials to ignore or abuse the process. Very good. Yep, exactly. So no apologies. You mentioned some wonderful, great things that we can do. Yeah. Are you going to share it with your alderman? Yeah, Colby, I already texted a whole bunch of people links to the petition today. So now I'm relying on you guys. Please send it to everybody, anybody and everybody. If it doesn't want to show up, there should be a mayor pro tem. Yeah, well, the only problem right now is that we only have 2 out of 6 aldermen that are willing to do something. But that's all right, because remember, that's why we need to come together as residents. And that's why I think regardless of how many official meetings there are, I think that we should be having these town hall resident meetings regularly, because we shouldn't have to rely on whether it's Colby or Mayor Clark or Tracy or anybody. We shouldn't have to be relying on politicians to talk about what we want in our city. You know, the change is really going to have to come from us. I know it's cliche, but it's true. So, okay, let's go back to our agenda. So that kind of relates to sorry, one second. Come on, StreamYard. Why is this window not popping up here? Come on. I know you're there. StreamYard is so weird sometimes. Okay, well, for some reason it's not my agenda's not popping up. But anyway, next on the agenda was future meetings. So I'm hoping that we could make this a thing, regardless of how many official meetings we have led by politicians. We need to have meetings for citizens that are led by citizens, I think. You know, not that politicians can't be involved, but remember, we couldn't even have them at a meeting like this. We could have, I think, 2 at the most, I want to say 2 or 3, you know, anything more than that would be a quorum. And then it would be an improper meeting, you know, because you have to follow the Open Meetings Act as far as give 48 hours notice, et cetera, et cetera. So, but like I said, that's fine. We shouldn't be waiting on, you know, there's only a few politicians, but there's what, 20,000 Harvey residents. So, what comments? Let's see. That's true, Kirk. But if the city is in a closed state, they cannot elect a mayor pro tem. Well, no. The issue there would be, like I said, we only have 2 aldermen that would even maybe show up. But I mean, I agree. I think, hey, I think they could show up and hold a meeting. It would have to be at another facility. And I did bring that up to Colby last night. I texted her and I said, hey, this is not right. A whole month without a meeting. You know, do you want to call a meeting maybe and have one at like a church or something? So she did say that next week she's going to host a conference, a session on how to do FOIA requests. So I think it's going to be next Thursday. So I think that would be very positive for sure. And then 720 ILCS 5333 official misconduct. That's interesting. Okay, we'll have to come back to that and look at that. Meetings are important to stay on one accord with the business. And Ryan, you need 4 to aldermen to come together to form. Oh, 4 aldermen. Okay. And I'm like, who's aldermen? Right. Yeah. So as long as you don't have, you know, if you have fewer than 4 aldermen, you know, that would be fine. But okay, and then next is public comment. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or anybody wants to come on stage, you know, to share via audio or video, please do. No, there's 6 aldermen altogether. Ido. And then I'm going to Google that you brought up. No apologies, 720. Okay, well, let me copy it. No. 720 ILCS 533-3. /33-3. Okay. Official misconduct. Interesting. I like the first one in that part of that law. It says intentionally or recklessly fails to perform any mandatory duty. Oh, now it says that if a public officer or employee is convicted of official misconduct, they forfeit their position or employment, and it's a class 3 felony. Now, my question would be for that, though, is that something that you have to get the state's attorney to prosecute? Because that's been the challenge for us, you know. Oh, the link. Thank you. Yes. Sorry, I'm just getting the link right now. Give me a second. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I sent the link. So, yeah, that's all I had prepared. I wanted it to try to be short and sweet. So if you guys have any public comment or questions or whatever, this is the public's time. This is all for Harvey. I definitely think we should do this again. For sure, but I didn't want to miss out on this because I figured, look, everybody had already put aside, everyone that was really interested already put aside time in their schedule to come to this meeting. So why not hold something in its place instead of just letting our leaders, willy-nilly cancel stuff? And then it's like, oh, okay, well then, what? We're just not going to have meetings because one person decided that? No, thank you. Islo says Clark knows the laws. He does. Clark's a bomb. He does not know no law. If he did, you'd be practicing law. Pays him. Oh yeah. Well, we've heard from various sources that he's not a very good lawyer. Many people have come forward and said privately and publicly that he took their money and did not perform, adequate legal services for them. So here's Diana. Hey. How are you? Oh, okay. I'm sure she'll be back. Idolo says post a physical petition. Yeah. No, we can do paper too. I mean, like I said, we just started, so we need everybody's help. Yes, it's true. Mayor Clark knows the law, but he will bend the law to a certain level. That's true too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we can go out and get signatures as well. True. I like the online version just because of that, like I said, of the protection. Some people, they don't want their names up. D-Love, are you coming up? Or who else? Did Ramona have a comment or a question? Or Derek? I'm trying to give priority to Harvey residents, but if no Harvey residents want to say anything, if anybody else wants to as well, just let me know. Amir was a lawyer. Yeah. Not necessarily a good one, but yeah. It's good for people who want to remain anonymous. Yeah, that's why I wanted to give that option, because I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't feel that change.org petitions give that option. And definitely a paper petition doesn't really, you know what I mean? And that's an issue. You know, it may not be an issue where you're from or where you're at, but here in Harvey, you know, we do unfortunately have a history of politicians, you know, retaliating against people that speak out. So it's sad. But do you love that we lose you? Are you coming back? You coming back? Anybody else? This is your chance. Don't be shy if you want to say something or you want to ask questions. Please use the forum. Or Glynis, too, if you're still with us. Oh my goodness, I can say my different various feeds have been blowing up with the property tax question. That's another reason why we've got to get things in line, you guys, because nobody can afford these property taxes. It's crazy. And a lot of these politicians just don't, you know, it's like, as long as they're getting money, they don't seem to care. I went to the township meeting. They didn't seem fazed at all. They're like, oh, what's that? Property taxes? Oh no, we don't really do much with that. You know, it's like, what? It's like, so yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do some things ourselves. Ramona says we need relief, period. Ugh, amen to that. Yeah. Glenna says just listening. That's fine. Yeah. People who want to stay anonymous should sign and write any name they want, an address. I can vote if I was there. Google an address. I'm William Bacon. Well, thank you for your support, Francois. And Beth says she's listening as well. Okay. Yeah, I know Diana was going to come up, but that's a great thing that she brought up, though, as far as the misconduct. That would be my only concerns. I don't know who would bring the charge, because, like, to my understanding, I do believe that the Cook County State's attorney has to bring those charges. And gosh, it's just been like pulling teeth to get them to bring charges. So it's crazy, you guys. Okay, here she is again. Hey there.
Hey, Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, I can hear you.
I was trying to record your. Oh,
You were trying to record?
okay. I had you going on in the background. Wonder why he wasn't saying nothing. Um, hey, Ryan, how you doing? I appreciate you putting this on today. So last minute.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, and I'm grateful to you and all in the queue, and you know, people that suggested it yesterday, because that's really such a great suggestion, because I'm like, we can't let these people just cancel dialogue like that.
Yeah, because there's got to be consequences. A whole month and we not have a meeting and we supposed to be we're distressed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
I agree.
confusion. That's the frustrating part of it is like
Mm-hmm.
we're supposed to accept what they give us, but they look to us to get them out of it, the hole that they put themselves in, or us in, as you
Mm-hmm.
could say.
Mm.
And I'm like, it's frustrating. I meant to, on my way home, I meant to stop at City Hall and see was there any businesses going on. Hey, all in the queue. But
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to go down City Hall road.
Right. No, I was curious about that too. I'm like, I wonder if they even posted something. They probably did, but still, it's just so shady. And I know Colby posted. She didn't agree with it. So,
But you know that Ryan,
yeah.
you know how they would do. They'll tell Kobe there's no meeting today, and then they'll have a meeting anyway because all they need is the
Mm-hmm.
four.
That's what's also super shady about it, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, so it's just frustrating, and
Mm.
because I really wanted to see, since we don't have a lot of police in our community, like will there still be a lot of police that who are in the meetings? So because I don't see a lot of Cook County
Mm.
sheriff out lately. In the beginning, I did, but lately I haven't seen a lot of them.
Yeah, I haven't either. No, I haven't either.
Yeah.
And I did contact I forgot to mention, I texted one of the reps at the fire department, just today, to say, hey, we're going to hold an online town hall. If you guys want to come by and say anything or ask any questions, do you have any updates? But he said that the last time he had seen Mayor Clark was about 2 weeks ago. No updates from the city, no word on when workers could be brought back as far as in the fire department. Just nothing, no progress, no news. So, and that they're still working because I hear the alarms. I see the fire trucks going by. So,
Oh, I live right off houses, so you can hear the fire trucks going up and down the street. And listen, I noticed this yesterday. You know how the fire department or the ambulance come down the street, and then there's a little light on top of the light post. Right on Sibley and Halsted and Sibley, 147th Street, that don't even go off anymore.
Oh,
I noticed that
that's weird.
yesterday. I said, oh.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why. And then Crook asked, Ryan, do you know if the township has been doing any food drives? I don't know of any food drives. They had the food pantry, but this year it seemed a little more complicated, though. They had some, like, you had to sign up for a turkey, or I don't know. It was a little, I felt like it was easier to understand under Tiffany. I didn't quite understand how that went.
I try not, during the season, I try not to go down that street because there'll be so many cars at the food pantry on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, right by us, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Ramona says, yes, the township's doing holiday boxes. You sign up online. So is it easy to do, Ramona? Or, I get confused about that because then I also saw on Facebook that they had shared a post singing the praises of the highway commissioner. What's his name? I think Antoine Russell.
Yeah.
Antoine Russell. And they spent like thousands of dollars redoing his office, and I think they bought like this ginormous new lawnmower, and it was really straight again, more just. That's why I'm like, guys, as citizens, we got to come together, because these politicians, they don't care. They're just like, I'm gonna spend money. It's free money to them, I guess.
Yeah, I saw, and I read Paul Roberts' comment, and he said, "Oh, that's the new lawnmower they just got."
Yes. Apparently, it's like it's this ginormous beast of a lawnmower, and the township, like for the highway commissioner, it's like we don't even have. There's like maybe 8-9 miles or something. It's not that much, So Kirk
It's
says
the
this should be the time.
overspending.
Right. Yeah. Right. And no respect for what, people, for resources. What are you saying, Kirk? Call of duty of the township is considering villages like Harvey are laying off workers and knowing some of these villages not providing assistance to Call of Duty.
It's a game. Call of Duty.
I know. Are you, what, I don't go, what you were trying to tell us by that, Crook. Maybe tell us more. And Amanda says, hey, Amanda.
Hey, Mandy. Hit that like button, that link button, Mandy. Is that the link?
Yes, thank you for reminding. Yes, and I have to get on. I've been so behind. I need to set up a Patreon because I love doing local journalism and all this stuff, you guys. But Daddy needs some. Needs some money because real estate sales are slow, and I always want to be positive, but I have to say, try to be wise with your money, because I feel like if the feds do not come down with the interest rates, that it's very possible that we're headed into a possible recession. But like I said, I don't want to scare people. I'm not saying that to be scared. I'm just saying just do things, do whatever these public boards don't do. So in other words, don't take random trips to Las Vegas and stay at the Bellagio like school board 152 did last fall. I got that FOIA back, and all this other stuff. You can still enjoy your life, but just try to just don't overdo it. Make sure you have some money saved up.
Because the funny thing about it, we had a recession. What about maybe 10 years ago? They said it was into 2000. I never even noticed that it was a recession.
Oh, really? Okay. Good. That's good.
So you live, but you don't. You just be cautious about what you're doing.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Exactly. No, I agree. Idro says they need someone to drive the food to the residents. I don't know if the township does that, but I can tell you Restoration Ministries in Harvey does that, and they'll serve anybody.
No,
Township
the
does that too?
township does do that because I remember it was
Oh.
a this is when Tiffany was in office and they have a team and it was like a lot of young people and they had these vests on and it was going door to door to see if you need anything. And it was letting you know they had food boxes and it was
Hmm.
I didn't want one.
Mm.
So I'm not
Okay,
sure. Mm.
so the township does deliver. I mean, I know they can. I just don't know how. But for instance, this is another thing. Like someone in Dixmoor was telling me that under Tiffany, um, she requested some food boxes for the Dixmoor mobile home park, one of the mobile home parks, and she got a whole bunch of boxes. And under this current board, she made the same request this year, and they said, "No, sorry, we don't go there." And she said, "But we're in Thornton Township." And they were like, oh, they were trying to tell her, no, that's not Thornton Township, or making excuses. So it's really bad,
Oh.
especially when you have them spending lots of money on other things. So it looks bad. Kirk says, meaning this should be a call of duty for the township, considering a lot of workers for several of these municipalities. Oh, yeah, you're saying they should help out, okay? Because I'm like, you're saying call of duty. You're not trying to tell people you want them to shoot somebody, are you? I'm like, okay, I didn't think that's what you meant.
First
I
you
was
said don't
like,
pay your
what?
taxes at all. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, they would come after us, unfortunately.
Not only will they come after you, somebody will go behind you, pay your taxes, and you look up and somebody done bought your house from you.
That's true. Yes, because the system is so corrupt. That is very true. Ramona says, I agree. They should help Harvey due to Harvey being stressed. Help employees and their families. Right, right. Well, that last township meeting, like I said, I was there. A few other people were there. Maybe you saw the video, maybe you didn't, but they were not worried at all. They were very happy to just move really quickly through that meeting. They were not concerned about saying we're going to show you that we're reducing expenses. We've eliminated unnecessary staff and programs, and this is how we're being more efficient. No, they were not. No.
And that really, before you go further, all right, I think that really should be a a a a measurement or a ruler. Like when these new politicians are coming in, how are you going to meet these needs? Because it's easy to say in the beginning, yeah, we're going to help people, we're going to build roads, but you just telling us stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like how
Mm-hmm.
you going to do it? Like really do it? Like I'm tired of being like Vaseline. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell us what is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't do it, I respect you say you can't do it.
Right, right.
I'm just saying.
Like with the FOIAs, when they were like, "Oh, it's all like $2,000 per FOIA." That was the township was saying that, but it's really stupid things like that I'm like, guys, we can't believe that. Like, come on, they have the answers, they just don't want to share them,
Yeah, because the
right?
FOIA that I did about Micro Motors owing $7 million. They
Mm-hmm.
I asked for the they sent me the correspondence and the correspondence for that that they sent to Micro Motors. I don't know why he's lying. Micro Motors, but they didn't. But they blacked out a lot of papers, so I they never even answer my question.
Mm. Right, right. And I even got a few answers today back from the Harvey FOIA person, and I forget a few of them though. I think all of them were basically like, "No, we already gave you that information." Because I emailed them and I said, "Hey, you didn't give me all the information I asked for." So see, that's what aggravates me. And then you have to appeal, or then you have to go get a law firm. So. And Crook brought up the firemen. Yeah, yeah. There's people that they just don't freaking care, Crook. They don't care. They don't care if people are having babies and they have to. They can't afford food or diapers or pay their utility. They just don't. That's the crazy thing. Like they just don't care. Amanda says that doesn't make any sense. They know Dixmoor. So they know Napoleon. And his people know. They're very smart. Napoleon grew up in Dixmoor.
Facts.
So there's no excuse. But I mean, doesn't that make you look bad when for everything that people would tease Tiffany about and try to trash her, like she fed people and
She fed the people.
that lady, she wasn't a huge Tiffany fan, but she just said, she's like, when I asked last year, I got I got as many food baskets as I needed for the people in the mobile home. So you need somebody to give toys to children. We do have a lot of groups that do that. Yeah, I didn't know how they were going to get by. I still don't know how they're getting by, Crook, our firefighters. I have no idea. And Clark is AWOL. He is totally, can't find him. Knowing a lot of city employees are being laid off in the surrounding township, Tiffany would have been banking on this. Right, exactly. You know, love her or hate her, I think she would have. I think she would have said, "Oh, here, we'll help you," or something. She probably would have. Not that I'm giving her any points. I'm just saying that's what those resources are for. That's what the township is for. You know, I agree. Well, I'll tell you what has been happening at the township, though. Somebody brought up, "Hey, do you think we could get some support for women's health?" Like, because I think they had cut a lot of the mental health counselors and such, and particularly they had asked about help for women, like who had experienced rape or domestic, violence or whatever. And then the response to that was they had the session of men's health.
Right.
So it's like even when people directly ask for stuff, the board just does what it wants anyway. So it just, anyway, I don't want to just bitch about what the boards are not doing, because I do want to get solutions.
And that's why we want to resolve.
Right, exactly. Oh, and Glynis brought up Infinite Hands in coordination with Alderman Chapman's hosting a big Christmas event on December 20th, Thornton Township. Yes, so do be aware of that. That will be at the high school in the field house on the 20th, right? It's a Saturday, I think, Glynis, right? I think it's a Saturday. So that's another event. I know Colby gave out some turkeys this past weekend. I saw Glynis was in some of the videos there.
Yes,
You guys
Saturday.
were at the senior home too. And then the mayor, I did see him in the photo. I didn't go, but I saw him in the photos for when they was that Saturday with the city too? But they supposedly were giving away turkeys at City Hall. I saw him in those photos. Otherwise, I haven't seen the mayor around.
Where he getting turkeys from?
Supposedly, they said from the towing companies. And then my question was, oh, is that the money that was taken from people when they extort people, like they got to pay $1,000, $2,000 to get their cars back after they've been towed for some small offense? Because in that case, it's just another case of like, here, we took this money from you and now we're going to give you food and you're gonna vote for us and think that we're wonderful. And this is, even though we got it using the money we took from you. So Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Paul. He's asking us, hey, Heidi, Love, and Ryan, are either of you going to the township meeting tomorrow? I can't make it.
I can't make it.
Well, okay.
What time is
you
it?
Can't make it? Yeah, what time is it, Paul? Is it like 6? Aren't they usually at 6? I thought. And Kirk says tomorrow's meeting, Ryan, you actually go with their address at 6:15. Okay. Well, the big thing about tomorrow's meeting that I do want to find out is because I guess they called a special meeting just to vote on insurance. And I asked somebody why. I was like, why? And they said, well, remember, Napoleon has connection to, I think it's called Max something or whatever, insurance group. And then that's why they asked him to step down, because he used to be over the insurance regulation commission or something. So the question, I guess our question should be, who is going to be providing insurance to the township? Is it a company that's connected to Napoleon, or Paul, as he had mentioned? I think the Speaker of the House son, or not, no, former Speaker Madigan's son was also somehow in that. Oh, 7. Paul says 7.
Oh, 7?
So I don't know.
I can make that.
Someone needs to ask who the insurance broker is and why it is so urgent. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we should do it. I could add it to my schedule. I think I could. He's part of the committee. Kirk says, okay, which committee? I don't know what committee that is.
That's crazy. All this stuff
is to my schedule.
Right. All this, what's interesting to me about politics in the South suburbs, just period. Mm-hmm. Everybody's connected to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's independent from everybody?
Right. And all of the, like, I just always go back to to Mary and Valeria two ladies as the trustees, remember how they were just so vocal? And now it's almost like we have to do a wellness check on them. Like, are they okay? They're so quiet. It's like, what happened? Are you guys not feeling well? Wow, how did you get so quiet so quickly?
Yes, it's funny. Like at work, it's a question that I ask people: Are you being abused?
Ah! That's so fun. We should do that. Someone, when they go up there for public comment, someone should say, trustees, blink twice if Napoleon is threatening to blackmail you. Blink 3 times if like, do you need help? Are you unable to ask for help?
Yes, SOS. That's hilarious.
Yeah. No, I know it's absolutely crazy. Insurance for the state. Beth says now they're very quiet. Yeah.
Question.
Yeah,
I have
go
a
ahead.
question.
No, go ahead.
So I heard you say that you had Tyrone Rogers expense account. What he be spending his money on? Because I was like, I don't see much.
I can. Sure. Yeah, I can pull that up if you want.
Like we said, when last night I went to the submarine play. I always say I'll go get me something to eat, but I'm not stopping in a Harvey to go get nothing to eat. And it was at night, and I saw at the car wash again because it's dark. It was a lot of people gathered over there, and now I see a lady in the back, like she's sleeping on one of them pillars that they put back there, so you can't get into the car wash. I said, did he not see this sugar honey iced tea? He must, when he go down hall, see he turned his head straight. He don't look left or right.
Right. No, that's exactly like that's what I'm saying. He knows. He knows. But who knows if he's getting paid off or whatever. That's why I wanted to briefly go over this is just like an AI thing. Maybe I should go back to the last results. But so the Black Panther Party did something that was called they didn't invent it, but something that I really respect that they did mutual aid. Again, they didn't invent that, but where they did breakfast programs for the community. They did a lot of other positive things. But they also did it. It's basically called parallel systems. So when you're faced with government that is unresponsive and corrupt, and we could just go on for hours complaining about the things that they don't do. So one of the things that people can do, and that revolutionaries or people that want to change have done, is to establish parallel systems. So the Black Panthers are a great example of that, and I wanted to pull up a little bit again because we usually we know a lot of the problems more so than I think we know the solutions. So I wanted to pull that up. Okay, cool. So let's see. So they had free food. They had SAFE, Seniors Against a Fearful Environment. It was a nonprofit created by the Black Panthers. A group of senior residents asked the Black Panthers to launch the organization to help seniors learn self-defense techniques. Okay, that was in Oakland. Okay. The SAFE program offered free transportation services, which allowed seniors to conduct banking transactions more safely. Okay. Free food program. Okay. To supplement the groceries of Black and poor people. So they did, they help with food, right? I think that's great. Luckily, we do at least have some decent food pantries around. Free healthcare. I think that's awesome. There was another thing. It didn't list the the breakfast program, but there's that. And then they also let me see, community survival programs. But, they had a little bit of everything. They had, health clinics. Yeah. They had community patrols. Yes, that's the other thing I was thinking of. So does this sound familiar? Police brutality ran rampant in Black neighborhoods with little accountability. Well, gee, has that changed much since the 1960s? No. The Panthers organized armed patrols to monitor police activities and protect residents. They used California's open carry laws to make their presence known while educating people about their legal rights. These patrols raised awareness and deterred police violence, but also drew intense scrutiny and repression from law enforcement. So, yeah, they received flack, but I mean, honestly, I think it was a good thing. So that's something that we could do, to educate people about whether it's carrying mace, or communicating with your neighbors about if you see things that are, suspicious, or your rights to legally carry a gun, whatever people are comfortable with. That's something that we could do that does not depend on the politicians. The educational initiatives, okay, they started liberation schools to teach Black history, political theory, and critical thinking. I love that. But this is what I think I wanted to share. Lessons for today: build programs that address immediate needs. The Panthers didn't wait for permission or funding. They started where the need was greatest, whether it was feeding kids or offering healthcare. And again, they were not asking politicians, because the politicians, just like in the Southland, they were aggressively, I would say, against the people, or just ignoring. Action steps. So what could we do? Organize food security initiatives, free meals, community fridges, create mobile clinics or networks for mental health support. Tie aid to advocacy. Mutual aid wasn't just about survival. So if you're going to help people, right, we also have to educate people. How do you get engaged in the community? How do we bring change? Guard against the state repression. So unfortunately, the FBI used the COINTELPRO program to infiltrate them. That's when Fred Hampton was killed, and some of the other people were killed in Chicago. But it was because they were so successful, although they were doing the right thing. This is another thing too, like avoid centralized leadership, distribute responsibilities across trusted networks to reduce vulnerability. But here's my thing. We have a problem of everybody wants a savior. So like, let's just say, I'll just pick on Colby, for instance, and people are like, oh, but once we get a better mayor, let's say Colby she'll be a better mayor, and then everything will be better. Is that fair to Colby? She's one person.
But I think, like, in the African American community, traditionally the churches were, and the pastors were the saviors for our community. So that's why we still look and talk in that same manner.
Yeah. And maybe if the churches were active more, I mean, that would definitely help. But it's like, it's just very common culturally, like even with the president, right? People are just like, well, if we just get a better president, all the US's problems will be fixed, and it's not really realistic. It's like we tend to put a lot of faith into like one or two or a few people, and it's like, that's a lot. And like even with the Black Panthers and other groups, the FBI knew how successful they were and saw them as a threat, and they came in and they killed some of the leaders. It didn't totally kill the movement, but I mean, it was pretty harsh. So I think that's a lesson that we learned too, is that we want to train everybody, because if we just have one or two people saying, hey, just put them in charge and they'll fix all of Harvey, well, okay, but then what if something happens to them? What if they get sick, or they can't serve in office, or they have to move, or you know what I mean? So let's see. Yeah, bring people together, take collective action. Yeah. So anyway, community solidarity. What didn't work? Oh, visibility. Yeah, they were a very visible target. Sustainability. Okay, anyway. But recommendations for today: start small, think big. So like, what do we need? Focus on immediate tangible needs. So that's one of the things I wanted to ask. Well, what can we do? What are some things that we could do to try to meet Harvey's needs, to meet our needs, without relying on the politicians? Security. We have to be safe. We have to be secure, right? So I think we need plans for that to keep ourselves safe. Again, I don't think we should rely on police because sometimes they help, sometimes they don't, even in really good communities. Partnerships, right? Build leadership from within, control the narrative. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to share some of those ideas in that, just so we don't feel like we're reliant on some outside saviors. And even Amanda said that in her video that she made the other day, and I liked that because she said, "Well, we can't wait for any saviors. We're our saviors. You know, we're the people that are going to bring the change." And I was like, "Yeah,
Definitely we are, but it's still at the end of the day, you said, because my people on my block, they don't come to these meetings, and they're not even interested in coming to these meetings. And my one and
right.
my one of the she's a senior. She only the last mayor she knows is Kellogg. She don't really know nothing about Clark. She's not interested in knowing about Clark.
Oh, yeah." Mm. And it's hard, you know. It
They share.
takes a lot longer to get the community motivated, but I do think in the end it's the right thing to do. But yeah, no, you can definitely see some people are not worth spending time on. Honestly, like it probably people like her. It's like it might take her years, and she may never come around. But that's okay, you know, because there are a lot of people that do want to take part in community and they want to help out, and they just need to be encouraged. You know how. Crook wanted to share about the Young Lords. Yes, exactly. Very similar. Actually, several of the street gangs started off as organizations that were trying to fill the gaps because they were being neglected by public boards. They just were, you know, the politicians didn't care about their communities. So exactly. So there's a lot of lessons that we can take. I think all we got is us. I like that, Crook. But yeah, maybe even just some some basic neighborhood watch stuff. I mean, I don't know what you do, Diana, but like on my block, I try to talk to people, and I'm like, please tell me if something happens. You know, like if your car gets broken into, or even if you, excuse me, even if you think it's something small, like let's talk to each other and tell each other, because then that could prevent you know, more break-ins, or it could prevent things from escalating.
Right. I agree. I agree. Well, I'm gonna jump back into the comments, Ryan.
Okay, thanks for coming on. Yeah, and um, yeah, we should definitely do this again and figure out maybe some positive things that we can enact. You know, I even thought about doing some Christmas decorations, like for my block, like on the corner or something. You know, even though yes, they stand the chance of being taken down by Mr.
Oh,
Grinch, the mayor. But you know what I mean? I was like, hey, you know what? I have some that I don't necessarily need to use all the decorations I have. And so I thought maybe just like a little, there's an old, I think it used to be like a block sign, and it hasn't been
oh,
used for years. But I thought, hey, what if I just get a piece of plywood and paint something, like it can be very simple, like welcome to you know, welcome to our block or something, you know, and then put some ornaments or Christmas stuff. You know, again, it's something small, but it's something that I know I can do, and I don't, and like the neighbors, if they wanted to help, like I don't have to wait for anybody.
uh, you on a block club?
I mean, sort of informally. Yeah, I've basically been, you know, block club captain for the years that I've been here. Yeah, and sometimes people take part, sometimes they don't. We had a great block party a few years ago. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know. I always feel that beautification is such a big thing too, you know. Speaking of that, I did want to share there is a Harvey Neighborhood Network meeting next Wednesday at 6 p.m. at Restoration Ministries at their building off 159th. So any Harvey resident is welcome to come, but that's the resident advisory board. So Diana, you're welcome. Any Harvey resident is welcome to come. That is a group that is trying to bring together different, like, like for me with the Harvey Historical Society, I know there's some other people that come and they have businesses in Harvey and plus their residents, or they might work in nonprofits. So they're a positive group. They're trying to bring people together and do more stuff with beautification. But how do you guys feel about that? Like, I feel like that's something we could definitely do on our own. Like what if we just do some small, it could be a small beautification. Like, let's say Diana just says, look, this one block near me is so horrible. Oh, like something on Halstead, like, I don't know if there's anything we could do around the old car wash, but you know what I mean? Just say, like, okay, on a Saturday morning, let's just all meet for 3 hours and go pick up trash in a certain area, something very simple. But things like that really do make a difference, and then after a while you're like, oh, if this feels so much better, like you want to be in this area because it doesn't have trash everywhere. But what do you guys think about something simple like that? Because we know we have tons of problems, and please share the petition by all means. We want Clark gone. I know we can do that, but in the meantime, maybe we could do something small like that, or like I said, go put up a few Christmas decorations somewhere or something. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. But we'll do what we can. But in the meantime, please do share the petition, share, sign. We've already got some signatures and some great feedback, and yeah, I think that's about it, right? I don't think I forgot anything else. But what else did I have on the agenda? No, that was it. Yeah, I can close that. Okay, that one's done. French, Hydro, you have a new name. You were so laughed because I saw your comments where you were like something like, you want the Black Panthers to provide security? I'm like, no, that. I wasn't saying that I want the Black Panthers to, but just as an educational thing to say that, there have been a lot of successful community groups in the past that they're like, hey, let's take care of each other. We're not going to sit around and wait for the police to do what they need to do. You need ice. Ice? No, we don't need ice here. That's not going to help. Now, wait, what were you talking about, Kirk? The Democratic machine? Yeah, the machine. Again, we're not going to wait for help from them because it's not going to come. Oh, thanks, Ramona. Thank you, Ryan, for your input, wanting a positive change. But I do mean that, even if it's just something small, like, let's figure out some things we can do. I mean, I'm busy. We're all busy. It's not like we have tons of resources, but maybe we can do a few things here and there. Thank you, Mr. Ramona. And let me glance really quickly to see. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving week. So Paul says there's a special township meeting tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I did add it to my schedule, so I will try to go. There's Harvey Housing Court is supposed to be Wednesday, even though the city is shut down. They're still doing their extortion court because they want that money from people. You were just responding to what we were talking about earlier. Yeah, the machine is always not helpful, totally. So, your favorite hustler. Hello, your favorite hustler. I don't know who you are, but you're a hustler, huh? So yeah, I hope that's some positive things. Maybe throwing up some Christmas decorations randomly somewhere. Maybe picking up trash somewhere for an hour. I know it's a little colder out right now, so it's probably not people's favorite thing to do to hang outside, but there's always something we can do. I do think beautification is important, though. I mean, it just makes you feel so much better when your surroundings look better, Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the chat. Blessings to you out. Yes. Thank you, Ramona. Bess is still taking those fines. Yeah, they do. I'm telling you, when you go to Harvey Court, either the mayor's there, and if it's not him, it'll be Corinne Davis, who lives in South Holland, but she's the city manager here at Harvey and is a horrible city manager. And then Ramona Simpson, who's the, I think, chief of staff or something, like, number 2. And they'll come and they just sit and stare and watch, like at the show, to see how much the judge, not really a judge, but and the city prosecutor, Patrick Walsh, can extort out of people. It's really disgusting. Yes, Idro, oh, that's right. You're in Quebec, you guys, the Canadians already had their Thanksgiving in October. Yeah, so this is not a holiday for Canada. Ooh, excuse me, guys. What time do you guys think would be, if we wanted to do some citizen meetings, some citizen town halls in the future, what time is usually best for people evening wise? Is it usually something like this, like on Monday? So Monday nights are probably pretty good for me, unless there's a city council meeting. But maybe we can think about that in the future. Beth, are you gonna go to the meeting tomorrow, the township meeting? 7 p.m. is a good time for you. Okay. Well, good. Okay, that's good to know. I'm so glad you're all the way from Quebec, like you're so concerned about us. That is so sweet. See, it shows that people care. People care. Amanda says Monday nights, Saturday mornings, Sunday early evenings. Okay. So probably Monday nights, like maybe a Monday night where there's not a city council meeting. But that way, just I'd love to just have an open forum, something consistent where people can share if they want. And Beth, you said I might. Okay. I guess I'll go tomorrow. I have enough work to do, but maybe I'll go because Paul says he can't make it, and we need to find out who we're going to be paying for all this insurance tomorrow at the township. Mandy says, hi, Ramona. And start thinking, for Harvey, if you have not already, if you do want to run for a position, I'm running for second ward alderman. I know Colby's running for mayor. 2027 races will be here before you know it. So think about that. Napoleon, you're saying, correct? I said the firemen need some boxes over there. Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. Paul says, yeah, no, I should be able to go, Paul. So on the point, I said to go run some food services over there for the firemen for the holiday, considering that 90% of them are laid off and they could use some help. Right. Yeah. And I did tell the guys, the firefighters about, Restoration Ministries, and then we have a few other really good food pantries just in Harvey alone. So I do hope that they avail themselves of that help. Ramona, Paul says the township meeting is tomorrow at 7, I guess. The special meeting. It's a special meeting. Which I don't understand, because last week it was on the agenda to vote for insurance. So I don't understand. I don't understand why they had to call a separate meeting for it. That's weird. Very strange. But yeah, Ramona, if you can go, we should go. We should do it. We should totally do it. And what link did I tell you guys I should? I need to fix the link to the Facebook page in the petition. That's right. Does anybody really? You're going? Oh yay! Okay, Rhoda, you're going! Yay! So you're going. Beth's maybe going. Diana says she should be able to make it. Okay, good. We'll make it a date. We'll make it a local date. Let's do it. 7 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll see what's going on. Does anybody really like to to do like Christmas or holiday decorations? Because that is something that we could try to jazz up Harvey with. Maybe do some guerrilla decorations downtown or on people's blocks, maybe something to make things look prettier. Beth Smiley. Are you for sure gonna go now, Beth? Did legs or pull your leg and not pull your legs? Oh my gosh, I can't even say the right expression. You do? Okay. Because yeah, like I said, I have on my block. It's this old sign, this old I think it was probably a block sign at some point. I mean, I don't think it'd be too expensive. I have a whole bunch of old paint samples laying around. I have some plywood. Pull my leg. I'm sorry, I said the wrong expression. Yeah, that's like if I'm joking. What did I mean to say? Twisting your arm. I knew it was something with a body part. See, I just got the wrong expression for the wrong body part. But you knew what I meant, Beth. We're twisting your arm and not pulling your leg. You guys weren't even gonna correct me. Oh my god. Now you know what? I have to. I really should go watch some body cam videos from July 14th because I got some new videos that Harvey finally sent. Isn't that crazy? Like October, November, getting stuff from July. So I'm not really super thrilled about that, but I need to see what they sent. Okay, I'm updating this petition right now. Thank you for those of you that liked and shared the live as well as the petition. Please don't forget to share that petition. Like I said, I'm going to fix the link right now and let me double check and make sure it's working. What? Again? Huh, that's weird. I wonder why it's not opening. That's so strange. What's on those videos? That's what I have to find out from the 14th, which Beth, you were there. Diana, you were there. Harvey has been absolutely horrible. They did send some videos, a few months ago, but they kept leaving out certain videos were like, this is when I know the officers were talking to me after I was assaulted and battered, and they were all wearing their body cameras. Like, what do you mean you don't have that footage? See, that's the kind of stuff that Harvey does that drives me nuts. So they lied to your face. Oh, we don't have it. No, we don't have that information. Really? Like, I was there. I was there myself. Beth, you were there. It's like, no, we know you have it, unless you did some sort of something illegal to erase it. You know, it's like, we know you've got it. Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. Okay, let me try this again. Why wouldn't the link come up to the group? It's so weird. Anyway, I'll have to look at that again. Keisha Stokes, she attacked you. Exactly. Yep. We haven't forgotten about that either. We're gonna get on that. So all right. So yeah, I gotta go watch some of those videos. I'm not really too thrilled about it, but I gotta see what stuff we found. All right. Thanks everybody for joining. Bonne soirée, bonne nuit, and we'll talk soon. Au revoir. Oh, sorry, Ramona, I just saw your question. What do they mean they don't have videos? Well, that's some of the videos. Yeah, they were saying that they didn't have. Or like, oh, we sent you all of them. And you're like, well, we were standing there with all those officers filming. We know that there's video there. So, yeah, very shady. Oh, good night, Glennis. Yeah, I didn't know you were still with us. Thanks for joining in. Yep. We'll talk soon, everybody. And then hopefully, lies. Exactly, Ramona. Lies. They lie to your face. But I'll see you all, see you hopefully tomorrow night at 7 at the township meeting. Signing off for now.